I'm standing here with senior class president Amara Haynes. Amara, we're used to the laissez-faire type of administration at this school. When Dr. Holleman arrived, what are some things you wanted to get done that you couldn't get done due to some of the new rules and micromanagement style?
Okay. So basically, I put together a whole booklet full of things that we wanted to do, such as the walkout, which we haven't done since my freshman year, I think. We wanted to do 3-on-3 again. National Honor Society decided to drop that topic because it was just too much for them to plan and having to go through all the hoops that Dr. Holleman had put in place. Not that they were bad, there was just a lot of work, and for something of that magnitude, it was just too much. So we tried to do those things. They were denied early on in the year. Tried to bring them back with her not being here anymore, but with the end of the year coming and graduation and everything, that kind of put a damper in the mood and stuff. So there's just other things as well. But we're trying not to dwell on the bad things. We still got graduation coming up. We've got our pool party, our senior pool party, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we're trying to, get done and have a nice year.
So overall, with her now gone, do you plan on trying to get more things through, or are you just going to leave it be at this point with the end of the year coming?
So the plan was to actually get the walkout to happen, and the walkout as well as a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We had planned to do it during MVP and WVP time. Like, we have AP Thursdays and Tuesdays in the morning, and so we were planning to do the basketball tournament during that time. But Dr. Miami said, with the time frame, it's just too much. We don't want to make an out for students who have SOLs and AP testing that they could be spending time studying during AP instead of like, oh, let me go to MVP because, that's something that I want to do. The other thing was the walkout. Couldn't do that either. So it wasn't just Dr. Holleman. It also had to do with the time that we have left. So.
Thank you, Amara. Standing here with Lafayette High School math teacher, Mr. Ekstrom. Quick question for you. What is something that Dr. Holleman implemented in the past 2 years that you thought was a good improvement for the school?
Well, I think she improved Lafayette by adding some consistency. One was to car line. I know some parents were annoyed that they couldn't drop their kids right off at the door, but she got some teachers out there to facilitate, moved along. Far fewer people were late. And on the topic of timeliness, she also got teachers to come before 7. She let teachers know that she cared if they were late. And I think in general that was an improvement for the school.
So you think overall she made a positive impact on Lafayette?
Yeah, well, any principal, has their pros and cons, but she did some good things for the school, yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm here with Lafayette High School junior Blake Osmer. Blake, big question, heavily loaded. What is your overall opinion of Dr. Holleman?
I just, from what I've understood from her, the implementation of the bathroom policy with, color-coded, I didn't really agree with that because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and most of the people didn't even follow it anyway because it was just inconvenient. And the other thing is she tried to take away, the end of the year basketball tournament that students are allowed to participate in, and it's really just a great thing, and it raises money for the school, so I don't know why she would take it away. But that's all I've really heard from her, so from a general aspect, I wouldn't agree with what she's done.
While she was here, obviously she's not anymore, but while she was, morale, would you say it was higher, lower, or are you indifferent to the idea that anything has changed?
I'd say nothing has changed relatively. I don't see any change in school spirit. If anything, I think she lowered it somewhat because people just didn't really agree with what she was trying to do.
Okay, thank you, Blake.
Okay, I want to really talk about Amara's interview. It was a really important interview, especially about the topic itself, her being the senior class president. With her, she told us exactly how she gave it to Miss Holleman with a booklet and all the different choices about the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, the walkout, everything. And she also said that now that she's gone, we can't really start up anything because exams are here and
it's the end of the school year.
It's the end of the school year.
Graduation is right around the corner for seniors this year.
Yeah, I think that's a big part for seniors. This was their final year for the huge school spirit that they haven't had since since their freshman year. They haven't had it. For these seniors, this was their final hurrah of high school before they either go off to college or do something else. I feel like this year was really important to them, and especially since they got like almost ripped off of what they really deserved, school spirit wise, and what they could have done in school. I feel like that's just a disappointment about, like, I think it's just disappointing that they didn't get to really experience that final year of senior year, like big last year until they go off to like basically the real world.
Yeah, she said a few things. I mean, one big thing that she said was she gave Dr. Holleman advance notice for all of this stuff.
Yeah.
She wanted advance notice, and she gave it to her in a booklet, organized everything. This is what it is. This is when we'll do it. This is what it'll be for. Like, everything was black and white. It was right there on paper. It was for her to read. And whether she read it or not, or just straight up denied her, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little sad that about the amount of stuff that was denied. I feel like
Obviously, some stuff is going to be denied, but to the extent that it was, I
the
don't think it's
amount
fair.
that was denied, I didn't see anything wrong with, especially the 3v3 basketball tournament.
People look forward to that all year.
You've done that
That's-
for, 3 years in a row?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest school fundraising events that we have in school-wise, like for School Spirit. I feel like that's a big moment that we got rid of for an unknown reason. I mean,
I'm assuming the reason is a loss of educational time. Really, what is so important at the end of the year? I know there's AP exams and SOLs. Okay, I understand that. But those are over, and there's still 2 weeks left in the school year sometimes. What are you doing those last 2 weeks? You have nothing to study for. Your SOL or AP
What
exam
is
is
an
done.
hour and a half, 2 hours really gonna do for a kid to make them either to get them a 5 on an AP exam or pass their SOL? An hour and a half is not going to do anything for them. They've been studying for this all year, and they're prepared. Teachers prepare them very well.
Yeah, teachers prepare you. Whether you take the preparation or not is on you.
Yeah.
But you are prepared walking into that test
Yes.
95% of the time.
95%
of the time you are prepared off your teacher. So an hour and a half or 2 hours with your teacher more, they're just going to repeat themselves.
Yeah.
And you can go back and read that or listen or go back and study. Like those 2 hours, you're not doing anything. And now that you're done with your SOL, what are you doing in that hour and a half? Watching a movie?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not doing anything, or watching a TV show. You're doing nothing of importance where you can't pay $1 to where it's gonna get donated to somewhere that for a good cause, and then just go hang out with your friends and watch a bunch of your classmates go around, mess around, and play a 3-on-3 basketball.
yeah, I mean, compete and have school spirit there also. I feel like just that overall, like, I feel like there really wasn't an explanation at all for why it was turned down. I mean,
why a lot of this stuff, not even,
Yeah.
when we say the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, we're talking about an example. I mean, there's 100 other things that there could be. There's the walkout, there's multiple more pep rallies. I mean, there's so much more. We're using the 3-on-3 as an example because it's probably one of the best examples we could use.
Yes.
But, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, that's all.
That's it.
agreeing with
It's
you.
just, I don't know. I don't understand. Some of the explanations weren't fully there, and if they were not known to the student body.
Yeah.
So only administration knows why when we want an answer as well.
Yes.
And I think that it's sad that we don't get that answer, only because I feel like as the student body we have the right to know of what we can and can't do and why.
Yeah. I feel like that's true. I mean, we have all these students here who are now just left out of the picture. I mean, nobody knows what happened, why I got turned down, and it really disrupts the school spirit. Not only that, but also just the chemistry overall in school. I mean, with the students. I mean, students obviously they should be coming to school and enjoying school. School should be fun.
They
for
should
them.
be looking forward to school.
Yeah.
I mean, and we know it's not the best place. We mentioned this earlier. It's not the place you come to have fun, but you don't want to come here
And just hate it.
It's not. Then school is not doing its job.
Yeah. Because everyone knows if you're trying to learn and then you're hating it, you're not learning anything.
No, you're just sitting there. You memorize it and forget it. If that.
it's going in one ear and right out the other.
And getting rid of some of these things are taking away morale.
Yeah.
Blake also said it in the end of his interview. He said he didn't see much change, but if anything, it went down.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with him. I agree with him. I think morale has gone down now that things are changing for the worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that this downfall change is not good for the school. I mean, and the students. So I feel like that's just.
I think Lafayette High School is entering a 3 to 4 year of rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm looking forward to the next new year and hoping we get a new principal. I mean, right now Mr. Miami is subbing in, but we're eventually going to need an actual new principal, and hoping forward to new change, more school spirit.
And that's all you can really ask for.
That's all we can really
point.
ask for, yeah.
Thank you for listening to the end of the Holleman Era podcast. As more news breaks, we'll be in reporting on it. So I'm Mike.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ryan.
Thank you guys for listening.